line up on the grid for race 1, 13 laps around Yamaguwa. I would say
Apex could be a good one to keep an eye on here off the start.
Yeah, I agree. The Porsches are quite well positioned off the start, so we'll stick with Apex.
Here we go. You hear the revs come up throughout the field as the lights are lit. No one wants to burn too much fuel. And we're off the line. Lots of tyre spin from the Supras off the line. Oh, the Nissans as well. Tate struggled off the line there. He's got Troy up his inside, Shans and Scooter, the three Supras. Going to duck straight up the inside. Tate covers it off though at the front. Now Apex finding himself side by side with Scooter coming through turn 1 here, coming into turn 2.
Apex is backed off slight. No, he's not. He's side by side with Scooter. Keeps it side by side through there. That is very difficult to do. They're too wide. Adam's sideways.
Adam's got a massive tank slapper on, but Scooter eventually claims that 4th position back from Apex, and they're 3 wide behind him.
Adam holds it together. He's likely to slot in just behind Oily up the exit of this corner here. But he's still side by side. Let's see who's got the better drive here out of Adam and Oily.
Tombo looking up the inside of Adam as well, coming into the chicane here. As they go 2 by 2, taking plenty of dirt on either side of it. Adam's going to have the inside for this run up the hill. Apex Humper up ahead has picked up a penalty and burnt it, so he's going to be dropping a few spots there already. He's only lost 1 to Oily, luckily. And Adam has dropped back to 11th as Tombo slots into 9th, so a lot of chopping and changing going off the start here throughout the field.
Adam always in it for the long game though. We'll see if he can make a solid comeback. Showman in that fantastic sounding Mazda. Holding up there in 10th.
Yeah, first time coming across the line, we have Tate leading the pack from Troy, Shans and Scooter close behind. Low side currently in 5th, Figo in 6th, followed by Oily and Apex Humper. Tombo's claiming 9th. Showman and Adam side by side for 10th position. Adam's going to take that from him up the inside. Showman slots into 11th, Sue is currently 12th, and Stefco bringing up the rear for 13th, so that's how the order has shuffled out after lap 1.
Scooter, Shans and Troy nicely bunched up as they enter the wide left-hander. And a little bit of a break, about a second back to Captain Lowside behind them, but Tate's just starting to get to the point where that slipstream's going to break now, so if he can hold that off, hold Troy behind while those 3 cars battle, this is going to be Tate's race to lose.
Absolutely, if he can break that slipstream this early on and run away with it, there's no chance anyone else can catch him, but that Nissan also struggling with fuel consumption and comes on fairly quickly with the turbo as well, so not too easy on its tyres either.
Yeah, that's all very true. The first lap often the drivers will be revving the cars out. They won't be too stressed about that fuel consumption, and once they've got a bit of spacing in lap 2, start to save that fuel a bit more. So it could actually be the Supra's time to shine, as Troy has closed that gap with into 7/10. So
he doesn't get the exit though. Tate just draws it back out. He's revving that car out a little bit more than Troy is, using the power to try and break that as much as he can.
Troy with a 32.
Scooter and Shan side by side though, coming into turn 1. Sorry to speak over you there, Squidly.
You're right.
Scooter looking up the inside of Shans, and it looks like he's going to get it done. And Shans is not going to have the chance to come back at him as they come up this pretty much single lane uphill section, and Lowside licking his lips as he gains up on these 2 as they battle.
Yeah, Shan's very keen to get past, but it's just not going to be this time. I think they're still just jostling, figuring out what each other's pace is and what who's on what strategy. And Shans might just be happy to let Scooter remain in front, save a bunch of fuel, and then push right at the end.
Yeah, that has given Troy a little bit of breathing room to try and take down Tate without having to worry about the guys behind him now, with a 1.1 second gap down to 1 second now between Tate and himself and Scooter as well. So it's a nice little bit of cushion to have in case you make a mistake. You can still stay clear of that slipstream.
Yeah, definitely. Down in 9th, Adam now taking Tombo's position as he slowly starts making his way back up on Apex. Apex got a wall of T-Rex racing GTRs and Figo there.
Oh, Apex is going to look up the inside. Oil's gone deep to try and cover it off, but at this rate, Figo might give the slipstream to Apex on corner exit to take that position, and he has. So that's really unfortunate for Oily. His teammates pulled over in front of the Porsche and not giving him the chance to have the slipstream. As they go side by side through turn 1, Oil goes in very deep to try and claim that position. Actually takes a spot off of Figo as well.
Yeah,
so beautiful double move there by Oily there.
A little bit of contact. Didn't really disadvantage Figo actually, but but it is going up the hill there. It's Captain Lowside, Figo, and then Apex Hunter still down in 8 and chasing him down.
Yeah, Captain Lowside now right on the rear bumper of Shans for 4th position, making the best of that fight that Shans and Scooter had last lap, and is right there in it now.
The great exit move. We might see. No, he's just going to tuck you behind this time.
Yeah, no, so I doubt we'll see Captain Lowside go for too many moves there. Earlier on we were discussing, and he said he's not a fan of going for a move down into that chicane, as it feels like it loses both of you too much time, and he'd rather wait and do it into this next hairpin, as he's showing us right here. Having a look up the inside of Shans. Both drivers leaving plenty of room. Lowside trying to get the exit. Shans has actually got the better exit and is going to have the inside for this right-hander, but Lowside's going to take the inside back to the left. Shans gives up the spot though smartly. Not trying to go side by side through there.
That's it. Captain Lowside, very patient driver, very switched on about his surroundings, and in fact goes for Shans as well. Goes to show both of them are driving through that hairpin with plenty of room on either side. But as we see, Oily tucking in behind Shans.
Yeah, Adam now joining the back of that pack as well, so starting to get involved after that rough start he had and getting shuffled back. So Apex trying to make his way back past these T-Rex Racing GTRs and get a move on as well. Shans has been thrown back into the pit with those GTRs right on his rear bumper now, so maybe race pace not reflecting, his quality not reflecting his race pace with the amount of fuel saving those Supras have to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Lowside goes a little wide, or Shans had a slight look there, sorry.
Yeah, no, he was able to hold it, but looks like Oily stuck the nose out there, but just not the place for it.
Yep, and back up front of the field, Troy now has the gap to Tate down to 6.6 of a second. So he's slowly been gaining on Tate, and I don't think we'll see him fight too much, as we have Anzac Autosport 1, 2, 3 at the moment, which would be massive for their team points.
Absolutely. Anzac Autosport currently in 7th, as we said, only 1,000 points clear of 6th, 2,000 points clear of 5th. So this could be a very big week for them, and big moves on the team's leaderboard.
Absolutely, and they've got the cars to do it here. The Supra and the Nissan very strong when you can prove it out. They suffer a little bit in fuel saving, but in the end are still very good overall cars through here.
Yeah, Scooter 82 possibly playing the role of unintentional rear gunner here, but that gap between he and Troy is really just opening it up for those boys and really helping them secure a win here.
Yep, and Shans back in 7th place, continuing to absolutely get swamped, and is now side by side with Figo going up the hill. Adam licking his lips, knowing that he's going to have a great run, and also gets past Figo. Yeah, so now Adam on the rear bumper of Shans.
Unfortunate contact there, but it's the nature of it when it's side by side through that.
It's the risk you take through there, absolutely. It's a very small room for error, very small margin for error going through that section at the speeds these cars get to.
Adam with a good exit. Shans goes defensive. This may compromise his exit, and Adam will be hoping for a pass into the hairpin up the top of the hill.
Adam does get a great exit out of there. The Corvette really digs down into that torque on the uphill section and now has the inside for this next hairpin. Very late on the brakes. Shans pretty much gave him that spot as soon as he saw him get the run up the hill. It was all over. Now Adam looking to chase down to 6th place after being in, I believe, 12th at one point early on. So doing a great job.
A little bit there. It looked like Oily was rolling off the throttle, so it could have been a minor incident there between Oily and Scooter, and Scooter just redressed that position.
Yeah, Captain has also managed to sneak past Scooter to break up that Anzac Autosport 1, 2, 3, and is looking to play spoiler on second now, chasing down Troy.
Yeah, as we're now getting close to half race distance. With 1.6 second for Captain Lowside to close.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's doing great on their fuel. Not too many looking like they're going to be running out, or they're going to have some spare in the tank for the last couple of laps in case they need a push. Yeah, but we have Scooter absolutely defending for his life now as he's slowly fallen back into the pack, as we've seen the same thing happen to Shans earlier on.
I'm not sure what's happened to Tombo. We've got Tombo down in 13th place, 1.6 back behind DJ Stefko. He doesn't look like he's got any damage to his car, but it's possibly an issue. He is looking on the border for fuel.
Yeah, it looks like, looking at his lap times, he had a 35.8 on lap 4, so maybe a slight off that has cost him those positions. Unfortunate for Tombo. Back towards the front of the pack, we have Oily looking up the inside of Scooter coming into the chicane, and Apex close behind now. Adam on his rear bumper as well. This pack of 4 now starting to heat up.
Lowside and the Lexus starting to show his stripes. He's closed another 2 tenths, now 3 tenths off Troy. So he is working that gap in, but we're really hoping to make the most of those Supras as they wear their tyres. Captain Lowside with pretty decent tyre wear there.
Yeah, definitely. Apex Bumper's looking pretty racy behind Oil, but he's got nowhere to go as Scooter is doing a great job playing, as you said, rear gunner for his 2 teammates up in second and first. So doing a great job holding them off, fighting for that position the best they can.
He's gone defensive. When you see the cars at half race distance, taking defensive lines and really holding them off, it really is a fight.
It's usually not a great sign. And looking at the tyre wear between Scooter and Oily's tyres are amazing, even on that Nissan. So as Oil has a look up the inside coming into the chicane and gets the move done beautifully.
Yeah, he really forced that, and Scoo with no option but to let it lie.
Yeah, I'd expect Apex to start having a look and seeing how easily Oily made that pass. Maybe they'll pull on to Scooter having some slightly more worn tyres and know that it's only a matter of time.
Both the tyres and the fuel on Oil in My Blood's GTR, he is, as we see Troy just getting a ton of grass on the left-hand side of the track. Captain Lowside now within 5 tenths.
Tate now out with almost a 3-second lead as well on that, so Lowside deep in the slipstream of Troy here, now just 2 tenths behind him. He could look up the inside here into turn 1. No, he decides to sit behind, so a wise choice by the captain. As you said, very smart racer, very aware of what's going on around him, and maybe knowing that him fighting with Troy here means Oil joins the battle as Scooter takes some grass on the way up the hill. Who is going to be very compromised now, which is going to hold up Apex and Adam. Oh, Lowside pulling alongside Troy as Troy goes defensive. Lowside went to go around the outside. He's now cut back to the inside of Troy, hugging plenty of that curb and gets an amazing run out of it. He's got the inside for the chicane down the hill, does the captain, and it looks like he's going to have the move done even before the braking zone. Oily now right on the rear bumper of Troy.
So after Tate, you've got 2nd through 7th are now within, about a second of each other, with Adam really closing that gap on Apex, and Apex also desperately trying to get that move done on Scooter.
Oh, Apex has got a great run out. Scooter's clipped some grass on the exit as well, so Apex has a run along the outside coming into the chicane, gives it up though. Very tough corner to go side by side through.
Yeah, Apex with a minor bump draft assist. See what can be done here on the main straight.
We'll see Adam taking a look around the outside of Apex, maybe thinking that his time to go is now for him.
Adam really revving that car out.
Both coming alongside Scooter here.
Adam looking for the outside line around Apex. Let's see if he can make it stick. If he can. Oh, Apex comes back. He's on the inside.
You would expect the Corvette to carry more speed out of the corner. Neither man giving an inch here through this mostly one-line section. and Adam eventually winning out, taking a whole lot of curb at the top of the hill as well. And now Scooter is alongside Apex, and Shan's trying to follow Scooter through as well. Oh, who's that? Oil's had a problem. Oil has engine damage.
Yeah,
Oil has engine damage.
Roy with a half-second penalty. I didn't see what happened. Broken Spoke, were you able to queue up a replay on that?
Unfortunately, I missed that one, boys.
No, that's okay.
So that's really unfortunate for Oily. He was running a really good race. He was right on the rear bumper of Troy in 4th position, and now down into 10th, unfortunately. But that battle for 3rd is now raging on, as Adam has worked his way right up onto the rear bumper of Troy after Troy has burned that penalty.
I think Adam ended up after his tank slapper on lap 1. I think Adam ended up in about 11th place, and he's up in 4th. So fantastic run from the captain of Big Horser.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some absolutely rapid times coming out of this race, certainly from Tate and low side, but even this pack of 5 or 6 cars that we've got close behind. So you see Adam pulling up to the inside of Troy coming into turn 1. Holds it very tight. Troy goes really wide and loses a spot to Apex as well, unfortunately for Troy. So that Anzac Autosport 123 is absolutely falling apart at the moment and is now a 157. So that's really rough for Anzac Autosports there after such a good start.
That tyre wear for the Supras is really starting to show, and you can see that with all of those Supras that were previously in the top 3 and 4. The highest Supra's Troy in 5th, then Chance down in 6th, Scooter down in 7th, and it's unfortunate to see, but those tyres just get shredded in those cars, unfortunately.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, the car with the worst front right tyre on I would say is Tate Today, who is currently leading a race by 3.2 seconds. So it shows that even if your tyres are worn, if you know how to get the car around those corners and get the exit speeds, you can absolutely hold out the rest of the pack.
That's it. Tate really doing a fantastic job. He made that gap early on. He capitalised on the battling behind him, and he's given himself that 3-second buffer. So low side is closing it in, which is unsurprising, but 2 laps to go.
It's just too much for him to do without a mistake from Tate, really.
That's it. You never say never, but...
Yeah, we have Adam in 3rd now, leading that battle pack with Apex close behind, and then a small gap back to Troy, who's suffering with that tyre wear, and then he's followed by Shandon, Scooter, and the other Supra, who's also suffering from some tyre wear, and then Figo, who again is no stranger to some good old tyre wear. So you would expect to see Adam and Apex break away by a fair bit and battle it out for the last podium position here.
Adam gets very squirrely as he hits that ripple strip. Rexy's nemesis.
Absolutely, it's definitely can unsettle the car a whole lot if you hit that in the wrong way. Sometimes completely lifting the front of the car off the ground and making it very hard to get any kind of turn in as you come across that top of the hill.
Apex playing psychological games with Adam up here. Bit of a flash of the headlights as he comes into the chicane.
Absolutely, it's a great part of sim racing and racing. The little mind games you can play, and you see behind Shan's looking up the inside of Troy and Scooter.
Figo having a double as well.
Doesn't look like Shan's got a good enough exit, but he's going to clear Scooter and tuck him behind Troy here. Oh, Scooter's right on the rear bumper of Shan, so not much separating these two.
Figo, I'll be very keen to...
Oh, looks like he gave Scooter a little bump there.
Oh, did he?
I think there was a slight bump on the braking there, but Scooter's run wide. And Figo looks to have made the move, and now is closing in on the back of Shan's. The high tyre wear pack here from 5th through to 8th. Troy running very wide again, giving up that spot to Shan's, and maybe Figo as well.
There was contact there. Shan looked like he braked a little bit late, got a little sideways and a bit of a bump on the Scooter, but he's taking the position anyway.
Troy's well off. Troy's hit the wall.
Oh, there's nowhere for Figo to go.
That's damage for Troy.
Figo avoids damage.
luckily. But that's front bumper and front left suspension damage for Troy, unfortunately.
Figo, probably knowing that that's what's happened, I would say he might actually hold on to the position behind Troy as a form of redress. But meanwhile, up in, what are we in, third position, still about a second and a half between Adam V and Captain Lowside. Lowside's got that gap down to Tate down to 2 seconds, but
with only 3 corners, 2 corners left, I think Tate's in a very good spot here. Just 1 corner to go.
He slows down a hell of a lot to get past that left-hander in the chicane.
Absolutely. And looking at that tyre wear, that absolutely explains why he's had to slow down so much. He gets a little bit of a slide on the exit, and the captain gets that gap down to 1.4, but you see Tate swerve and a flash of the headlights. Congratulations, Tate. That's a beautiful drive. Great job to Lowside and Adam, our podium finishers.
Figo and Troy very close. Figo's just taken it ahead in 7th. Showman down in 9th. Tombo
and Zoo, side by side. Oh, Zoo's picked his pocket.
Yeah.
He's taken it by 14 thousandths of a second on the line, has Zoo, so Tombo will be spewing there. We've got Oily coming across the line now after that unfortunate engine damage, and Stefko, who had to stop back on lap 10 to repair damage as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, a bit of a shame for Oily and Stefko.
Oily was he was in such a good spot up in 4th behind Troy as well, so
yeah,
that's really unfortunate for Oily.
So that's it, race 1 for the Premier League.
Yeah,
round
congratulations 10. To Tate for that victory. That was well deserved. From start to finish, he absolutely monstered that one.
Yeah, some great runs on the board there for Anzac Autosport.
Yep. As you see in the pre-race messages there, Tate's asking to speak with his lawyer before he takes any questions. So
Apex Hump's going fishing.
We can't escape it. Anyway,
we never escape it.
Incredible drive to our top 3 of Tate, the captain Lowside, and Adam B. With amazing overall times as well.
Yeah, fantastic drive there. We'll see about a 3, possibly 4 minute break now while the team resets themselves. We'll get Oily loading up the 27 lapper, and we'll run a reverse. So reverse grid should see us with DJ Stefko on pole and Oil in My Blood on 2nd. So Oily and Tombo having just had a bit of a rough pitch in race 1. We'll see them really trying to open up a bit of a gap. I would say likely on softs to break as much of a gap forward. But I suppose the alternate strategy here is to start on mediums, and if you're right at the front of the pack, you really take away the opportunity for those behind you on softs to really get the use out of their softs. So, a couple of strategies. We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, and something incredible in the total times there. So Tate with a 20:26.8. Only took the top time over Div 2 by 0.2 of a second. So the winner of Div 2, Ando 787, apparently with the 2nd fastest overall time, which is incredible on his part considering he's in the FT1 and no one in the FT1 says anything good about it.
The FT1 is a fast car to drive, but you've got to be on the limit. You've got to be revving it out. You can't be looking after tyres and keep it fast. But Endo's gone ahead and proven me wrong this evening, so whatever you're doing it right.
Absolutely. And he had just incredible hang on to the back of him at all. He just ran away from me. So while he was just 0.2 behind the first time, I think my overall time came in about 9th or 10th in this lobby. So the gap he built and the race he drove was incredible.
Oh, it's great to see, and a shout out to the commentators there for for Division 2. We had Just Kingston commentating, Captain Blowside in the box as well, and Fine Moves back on visuals, which is great to see. And a very warm welcome back to Wheel to Village Ben 666. After a bit of a hiatus in the middle of the season, it is great to have him back. So, and the same goes to G-Man. I don't believe G-Man is racing tonight, but both of you boys were missed when you weren't here, so great to have you back in the mix.
Absolutely great to have them back. I did see G-Man on the RSVP list early in the day, but I think he pulled out shortly before it was locked in, unfortunately. So we didn't get any of the G-Man's action tonight, but hopefully he'll be back in tomorrow night. Next week for some good racing.
Fingers crossed. Always good racing with those two lads. I spent most of my evening battling Ben 666, so it's he's come back with a vengeance.
I had a great couple of laps with Ben sitting right on my rear bumper for 4th and 5th at the start of race 1 as well. So yeah, great to have them back. Absolutely. Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
All right.
I see some great sportsmanship in the chat here after the races as well. So Shan's apologising in case the other guys didn't like his strong racing, and the other guys say absolutely no problem. It was hard racing. We're in the Premier League. We're fighting for the top spots in the league at the moment. So great sportsmanship from these guys as our final gets underway.
Alright, race 2, 27 laps in the same direction with reverse grid, so we'll have to see what happens here. There's going to be a lot of different strategies. You can run a 2-stop, you can run a 1-stop here, and both are as good as the other. So I would say for the launch, we're probably going to be well served hanging on to someone like Showman or Zoo down in 4th in the Corvette. He's likely to get a good launch here.
Yeah, I'd expect to see Zoo up in 2nd or towards that 1st position with the launch that Corvette gets. Showman, the highest up of our drivers, starting on mediums, so...
Lights are out.
Oh, we've got someone stuck on the grid. Oh, and it's absolute chaos, and I think we're going to have to call that one.
Yeah. I'll,
for the restart. That's...
call the red flag.
It's turned into the Summernats on the pit straight, as we see everyone doing some beautiful donuts. That is one for the highlight reel right there.
Absolutely.
Hopefully on our awards intro that can get a mention, because that was absolute chaos. As we see cars sitting everywhere across the track as we wait for everyone to restart. Jump out of the race so we can get underway again. Oily is going to have to...
no, that's going to be an issue. Oh, yeah, sorry, he will. I'm not sure who the... Damn, I needed that start.
As we see a couple of guys blue screening as well.
Yeah.
There we go. So
a couple of guys jumping out. We'll wait for everyone to return. We're not going to go jumping ahead. Unfortunately, it does mean that the grid will have to be set up manually.
Yep, as we have Apex reminding Willie there. Take calling for a quick start now that only half the lobby's here. So spending too much time in the dank memes chat.
I mean, I guess while I'm here, I should grab my daily bonus.
I fortunately have not dipped my toe into that.
Look, if you have an addictive personality, I would recommend keeping your toes away.
I absolutely do, so that's why I have not gone anywhere near it.
Yeah, I don't know how Apex races with the pace that he does, with the amount of memeing that he does on a daily basis on Discord.
it's definitely, I think, a channel that the Discord's needed for a little while. We got rid of the bitching channel, which is now a kind of links and memes channel, and then you have the dank memes kind of channel. That's by request only for those who really want to go all out for it.
Yeah, the couple of new channels. We've got Tombo's TikTokery and Dank Memes. It's good.
Yeah.
We're a community obviously centered around motorsport and what we do in our sim racing, but plenty of chance to talk about the F1, the supercars, anything else that's going on. So
Absolutely, and that Tombo's TikTokery, that channel has had plenty of renames in recent times, and some very interesting names coming out of that.
flavor of the week, really. Tombo,
It really is. I believe last week it was Australia's fastest veggie, so now it's TikTokery by Tombo. Figo back in here, who we're still waiting on. We're waiting on Tombo. And I think just Tombo. Australia's fastest triple, taking a while to get back in.
It's fantastic, actually. I saw recently in the Health Channel, Tombo he's actually got a specially made rig for him to cater for his disability. It's fantastic to see essentially what's out there, and just to be able to see Tombo with the speed that he has on the rig that he's been able to secure for himself is awesome.
Yeah, especially I can't remember the name of the company he worked with to get it, but being able to make the change from automatic to manual now has helped him so much. He would have been in so much trouble with the fuel burn rate currently
That's right.
of this season if he couldn't short shift. So definitely done wonders for Tombo.
Well, being a currently disabled driver myself, I can't do the auto, so I suffer the fuel burn, and it hurts badly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And not being able to short shift is a bit of a handicap, unfortunately. But great to see that Tombo's been able to get something to help him out. And fingers crossed. I think he was telling you should try to get in touch too. So it's just, I think it's great to see that there's a solution out there to every problem.
Well, it's good that there's companies out there that are thinking outside the square.
Absolutely. And hopefully next season, when it's all being decided by polls, we can get the fuel bump down by a little bit, so it can cater more to the people who don't have the option of going to manual and being able to fuel save.
Well, that's the best thing about the league. It's a community-based thing, and it's all voted on by polls. So, generally speaking, we make our own decisions.
Yeah, and even though we've had plenty of complaining about it throughout the season, once it's decided, that's pretty much it, and you kind of just work with what you got, really. As we have a beautiful Summer Nats display going on in Turn 1 right now. Shans, Zuzu, Tombo, I think I see Stefko, Adam, Apex, the captain are all doing burnouts. They have nothing left on any of their tyres. Most of them have got engine damage.
Shinobu, Troy and Figo doing laps, and every single other driver is cutting sick.
We should be good to get Oily to good to go here, as we see Scooter and Tombo holding up before the Summonats action now to not interrupt it. As you can see, we take our spare practice time very importantly here at Wheel to Wheel.
Oh, very serious.
So Shan's going the wrong way doing burnouts now as well, so it's absolute chaos in Turn 1 at the moment. Adam's actually doing a burnout while reversing.
Alright, so we should see very shortly. Line back up on the grid. Oily possibly just setting up that manual grid. God, it's wreckfest, isn't it?
It really is. I would love to see a Wreckfest series the way that Tidgney used to run his, where it would be a 3-lap race and you essentially would just destroy each other, no damage on, you would just destroy each other for the 3 laps, and then coming back onto the start-finish straight, the person who can finish 8th wins. So everyone would stop before the line and be pushing and nudging and reversing and trying not to get across the line.
Each other over the line, yeah, fantastic.
I think that would be a great little exhibition thing at the end of the season for everyone to get their frustrations out after a very long season here.
That sounds like something to try for the Corona Cup.
That too, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely give that a whirl.
We've got the all ready from Oily here, and we're away. As there are no rear tyres in sight in that turn 1 section. They're all just burnt down to the ground from most of the lobby. And we have the grid ready to go. Hopefully no unfortunate glitches this time around.
Fingers
and we
crossed.
will jump back on board with, I believe, Zuzu off the start and see what kind of start he can get in that Corvette. Be interesting to see if anyone's changed their mind on the tyre option they decided on the first time.
Yeah, depending on what others selected. Let's see what happens.
So Showman has actually switched to the softs off the mediums here. So
We're away.
Zoo with a cracker of a start, looking up the inside of Oily as well. Could take the inside on Tombo here. No, Zoo being very conservative. Oily cuts back across. Tombo now up the inside of Stefko, looking to take that lead for the uphill S section here. There we go. Tombo is currently leading the race. Stefko a little out wide. Oily giving him a little bit of a nudge for good measure. As they come up the top of the hill, you see a lot of cars squirming over that bump, over that curve. And we are too wide for 3rd and 4th here as Showman's not looking to waste any time up the inside of Oily as well.
Zoo with a poor run, unfortunately.
Oh, Troy that on the grass.
Bit of contact there.
Oh, and he's rejoined right in front of Scooter. That could have been dangerous for the teammates there.
Zoo not with a fantastic start. Unfortunately, a bit of contact there with Troy, but he's given all those positions back. He's now 10 and 13.
Luckily, everyone avoided damage in that occasion. Low side's out very wide coming into this hairpin. Absolute chaos at the moment as these boys try and shuffle themselves out.
Everyone's kept it on the track though. No one's spun it around. No one's put it on the fence.
Well, Troy did, but not hard enough to get damaged, luckily.
Yeah,
so, looks like Tombo is going to lead us around for the first lap. Closely followed by Stefko. Oily looking to redeem himself in 3rd. That rotary of Showman currently in 4th. Scooter back up in 5th with a strong start. Figo in 6th. Adam all the way up to 7th already. Low side in 8th, trying to chase him down with Apex and Troy close behind in 9th and 10th. Tate in 11th, Shans 12th, and Zoo bringing up the rear in 13th. So, see how this can go. Music playing. Is that you, Broken Spoon?
Sorry about that, boys.
No problem. A little bit of a dance break for anyone at home there. So it looks like we have Figo leading the pack of medium runners here. Troy, unfortunately, being the first guy on softs all the way back in 10th. Stuck behind that pack of medium runners now, and on the softs down in 13th. Really rough start for those guys.
Yeah, Troy really got a rough end of stick there. A bit sad for him, but I believe what happened here. Tate is on the inside. Tate's going to get that position there off Troy. Oh, Troy with a good exit.
Troy with a great exit. Now looking up against Adam, he had such a good one through there. He had half a look and gets the great run through the chicane. Tate's, he's out on the grass. He's sideways. He saved it though. Tate very close to losing it, running right on the edge of the limits of that car right now, trying to get everything out of these mediums. And it can be a tough adjustment to go from that first race soft pace to running on mediums for the start of this race here.
Yeah, definitely. The two tyres drive very differently, and there's about 6/10 or so in difference in your overall time depending on your fuel load. per lap. So we should see the guys on softs really start to excel. Stefko up there hanging on to Tombo's slipstream and really keen to break the gap to those drivers on the mediums. The first driver currently on mediums is Scooter, who's about 2.2 seconds back on the leader, so I'll be really keen
He's
to
doing a great job of holding on to Showman as well, who's on them soft tyres as Scooter, so putting himself in a really good position for the long run.
Yeah, Figo with a bit of a gap, 2 seconds now.
Oh, low side, sorry, getting past Apex as they come through the chicane there, and low side's, well, he's got himself 2 positions on this lap. He got past Adam early on and now gotten past Apex. So low side looking to build his way back up towards the front of the pack very quickly.
Yeah, he's revving that Lexus out, so he's obviously using power to compensate for the lack of grip on those mediums, which is also not a bad strategy.
Yeah, in talking to the captain earlier on, he did say to me that he planned on running a 2-stop, and I believe he said he was going for an 11.511, sorry, a 5.11.11. So we should see him coming in 2 laps time off those mediums, and then hopefully come out in some fresh air for him.
Bold strategy, Cop. See how it works.
Scooter's actually gotten past Showman on those medium tyres, so now sitting in 4th, only 3 seconds off Tombo in the lead on the soft, so Scooter finding some amazing pace here.
Yeah, that Mazda, he's saving a lot of fuel in that Mazda. With it being such a high revving car, I believe it is quite thirsty, so he may be keen, noting that Scooter's got decent pace. Showman might be just as keen to stick in the slipstream and save that fuel.
Take it on that grass again. And we have Troy, who's given Adam a little bit of something to look at in his mirror, trying to make the best out of those soft tyres while Adam's on the mediums here.
Yeah, Adam keen to save a lot of fuel here. He's shifting quite low, although we do know that the Corvette can shift very low in the rev range without really compromising too much speed. So it'll be interesting to see how Adam's strategy plays out and what ends up happening with Troy and whether he gets past.
Yeah, Troy's also got to worry about Tate giving him a little bit of a hassle from behind as well. Our winner of race 1, you're not going to want to hold up your teammate if you're Troy, but at the same time you're on the softer compound, so you should be able to hold him off regardless. Back towards the front of the field, we have Oily joining in that battle. So they've dropped Scooter and Showman, and now it's a 3-way battle for first. Tombo leading from Stefko and Oily close behind.
Tombo with a bit of a poor run out of the top there, but he's keeping it off to the left of track, staying defensive. Stefko unlikely to make a move around the outside here.
The fuel difference between Tombo and Stefko at the moment is incredible. It's probably about 10 litres different between the two. So Tombo absolutely using everything that the FT1 has to offer.
Oily happily sticking in there, and we know what Oily's like with his tyres, so 3 or 4 laps from now, if he doesn't get it done before, I'd be very surprised not to see Oily jostling for the lead.
Yeah, he had a little look around the outside, maybe just making sure Stefko knows his intentions, knows he's not looking to sit behind. He wants to progress forward and take that lead and maybe build himself a gap as he gets a little bit of grass on the exit of that chicane there as well.
Cars are all nicely pretty settled down.
Oh, we have one in the pits. Scooter.
2, 3, that's Apex and low side.
Figo as well, also in, so, Shans, Tate, there's a lot of guys in now at the moment, so...
Are we lap 5? Yeah, not running the 5-11-11 strategy.
Yeah, which I thought emerges from the pits first here.
I mean, I ran an 11-5-11 strategy and I thought I was being super original, but as it turns out, it's just whatever. Maybe they copied me. Maybe that's what's happening.
That's got to be it. They saw how well you did, so they're taking that on board. As we have Scooter the first emerging from the pits, closely followed by Apex. Figo dropping back a lot, so maybe burning a lot more fuel. Actually, Apex underfueled massively compared to everyone else around him.
He did. He entered with a lot more fuel though as well. He was sort of 7 or 8 litres ahead of anyone else, so he may just think that he can burn less fuel. He's just more efficient, so he capitalise on that lighter car anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have up in the battle for 5th, Troy sneaks up the inside of Adam in the hairpin here. So Adam deciding to stay out that little bit longer on them mediums. Not coming in on lap 5 as we saw a fair few of the guys go. So maybe looking to come in on lap 7 and run them shorter soft stints. But, Troy's on the grass!
And he's
done an amazing job to save that. I thought he was coming straight back across the track and getting damaged in that next wall. So amazing save there by Troy.
Absolutely. No. But again, he's held it out of the wall.
That's. I think I have engine damage twice at this point if I'm Troy. As we see him swerving a little bit to try and get the dirt off them tyres and keep running well.
Bit of an unlucky run from Troy there, but the car control is fantastic.
Absolutely. Back up the front of the pack in second and first place, we've got Tombo leading Stefko by just 2/10. Oiley's dropped back off by about half a second, and now Showman is starting to catch back up to him. So really maybe making a small mistake last lap as he ran a 35.5 opposed to some 33s previously. So we have Tombo maybe lagging a little bit at the front, but definitely not affecting Stefko too much as Tombo's running some great pace to hold him off at the moment.
At this point in the race, I wouldn't expect any of those guys to be...
Stefko right on that rear bumper.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to be battling too hard. If Stefko has the pace and Tombo knows it, I'd say Tombo will let him go fast. He's going to be faster in the slipstream anyway.
Yeah, give him a chance to save a little fuel as well. Stefko looking up the inside. Tombo's leaving him plenty of room, but also carrying amazing exit speed after going the high line through that corner. So great job by Tombo holding on to that position, and you see that Corvette of Adam B lurking in the background as they come down the start-finish straight.
Always creeping.
Always. You'll see Tombo's, he's started to make up that fuel deficit that he had. It looks a little smaller than it was previously, but still burning a lot more fuel than the guys around him, so he might get done in the pits here. Well, Showman looking up the inside of Oibley at the top of the hill to take 3rd position in that rotary. He's had enough time fuel saving. He's taken the very, very shallow line. Oibley's gone very wide, leaving him plenty of room, and Showman's made the decision beautifully.
I missed whether you mentioned it or not, but we've got Stefko has made that pass on Tombo as well.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. I think that was at the exact same time Showman was making the move for 3rd, so Stefko now our race leader. Tombo not giving it up too easily, but in the end he's going to be sitting behind Stefko for another couple laps, and it's probably not the worst place to be in 2nd place at the moment.
Stefko doing a good job of looking after those tyres and a fantastic job looking after the fuel. Noting how Apex underfueled as well, it could simply be that those Porsches aren't that thirsty.
Yeah, that's it's definitely possible, and the Porsches has been fairly fuel... as we see Stefko duck into the pits there actually, so... Doing an 8-lap stint on the softs. Quite a short run on the softs there. Maybe having to do an 11 on mediums if he's going to continue that. And Tombo retakes the lead of our race.
Again, Showman working 1.2 second gap.
Back in 7th place, we have the first of our guys that have stopped and got off those mediums, I believe. I know Scooter's used his mediums, I think Apex did. I know Captain has, as has Figo, so... These guys are about 18 seconds off the lead. You would expect them to take the provisional race lead when Tombo does decide to come into the pits. When our first few decide to come into the pits, being just 18 seconds behind.
Apex really closing up on the bumper there of Scooter 82. He's taking the inside. Oh, he's showing a nose. He's letting Scooter know he's there, but he's obviously not ready yet.
Using those beautiful mind games, and you still the grass on the inside of the apex of that chicane has been absolutely ripped apart by everyone cutting it as much as possible.
Yeah,
last lap of the race. Last lap of the race was fastest lap from Apex Humper with a 32.4, so a cracking lap time from Apex on race pace. And it's purple again through the second sector time, and right on the rear bumper of Scooter coming into this final bit. Troy is in the pits off them softs on lap 9, so maybe running a 999 strategy here. Hitler's favourite, anyway. Move on from that.
Oh, Dragon.
Yep, regretted saying that one as soon as it came out of my mouth, but anyway. We'll jump back on board with Scooter and Apex as they come up onto the rear of Zoo in the Corvette. Scooter giving him a little bit of a flash of the headlights.
Take a breath, boys.
Scooter making the move on Zoo. Zoo gone very wide.
Oh, Zoo, yeah, very wide, and Apex goes through as well.
So Zoo may be realising that these two are charging through the field very quickly and deciding not to fight and hold up their progress through the field.
Yeah, Apex with a quick flash of the indicators. Zoo knew he was coming. Happy to let him fly, obviously.
My gosh, Lowside had a massive tank slapper going through that chicane there, now with Figo right on his rear bumper as well. The captain's had a bit of a rough run as he's come out of the pits. He's dropped back about 4 seconds behind Apex, who he was right with at the start of his pit stop, as we have Tombo coming into the pits now on lap 10.
Although the captain's consistency, though, looking at his times, he's looking very good. He's got his last 3 laps have been in the 32s, and he's very consistent around that 32.8. We'll see what he snags as he gets across the line here. Yeah, 33.3. So he's still got great pace there. On paper, I guess from a position perspective, he looks like he might have lost out, but his times don't reflect that. So he might have just taken additional fuel at the pit stop and be running a different strategy to the other guys that pitted early.
Yeah, and after that stop, Tombo's fully fueled and on a fresh set of softs, now back in 12th, 30 seconds off the lead. So it shows how brutal a pit stop can be. That puts him about 18 seconds behind Scooter, who is our first of our drivers that have made a pit stop at the moment. So absolutely rapid pace out of Scooter and Apex at the moment as they battle for position as well as close the gap to the guys ahead.
Showman doing a great job in keeping the gap oily, about 6/10 at the moment, and hasn't really changed a hell of a lot.
Yeah, the lap times these guys are doing are really starting to drop off a little bit now as they're coming on to start their 12th lap on these soft tyres, now doing high 34s last lap by both of these drivers, compared to Scooter 82 and Apex, who are doing high 32s, so about 2 seconds a lap quicker are 4th and 5th, and absolutely reeling in these guys at the front of the pack.
Yeah,
but will that be enough to make up if Showman and Oil go for the one stop?
Well, Showman and Oily and Adam, at this point in the race, I think they'd have to be. They'll stretch it out to 13 or 14, and then they'll go into the pits. Adam there,
his tyres look amazing.
He's doing fours, but that's right, they really do. When you compare them to,
I don't know who else we've got running long on mediums, but those compared to everyone else's look absolutely incredible.
Well, he's just flipped his strategy. The other two in front, he started on the mediums instead of the softs, but he wants those off in the back half of the race to close the gap in. He's always great under pressure. He's always great in the chase. So with only 4 seconds or 3.8 seconds to the two cars in front. Adam's looking like he's going to be in good stead getting on those softs.
Yeah, he's been reeling him in fairly consistently, just 3 or 4 tenths a lap for the last 4 or 5 laps. It was at about 5 seconds when Tombo came into the pits 3 or 4 laps ago. So, reeling him in to a nice consistent pace, especially with probably 2 or 3 laps to go on them mediums. It could put him in a really good spot after the stops. We still have Scooter and Apex driving around together as well, inseparable at this point, with low side 4.7 seconds behind, leading a pack of 3 or 4.
Yeah, Shan's with a bit on Zoo. Looks like he's going to pull out and try and get it done. Yeah, Zoo backs out of the throttle.
So I think at this point Zoo is also on for the 1 stop, so I would expect to see him come in at the end of this lap, but he also has a lot of fuel. He still has a quarter of a tank, does Zuzu, so maybe going the 14 on the softs and running longer on the mediums.
Yeah, could be.
That's incredible. He has so much more fuel than even Adam, who only looks to have about 12% left, so Zuzu doing an amazing job.
He is, I mean, he's mid-pack down there in 9th, but unfortunately in saving that fuel you can see his lap times have suffered. He's mostly in 35s there, so hopefully he can make up those extra few seconds, but he won't have to refuel.
Yeah, Zoo after that unfortunate lap 1 incident where he ended up losing out pretty much all of the spots that he had after being in probably 3rd or 4th off the line, and now he's back in 9th place, which isn't too bad considering. And he's probably got a bit of time on these guys as he's going to be on the mediums for the rest of the race. We have Showman and Oily staying out for the 14th lap, and Adam ducking in off the mediums with 8% left in the tank. So he got that gap back down to 2.6 seconds before he ducked into the pits. We'll see where he comes out and what the gaps to the leaders are.
What did you say? 2.8? Well,
2.6.
6.
So he had a really good last lap, pulled in about 1.1 seconds on the leader. Did Adam B. Taking a full tank, absolutely brimming the tanks here, and rolling out of the pits. Just behind Troy, who he had a nice little battle with earlier on. 33.6 seconds, 34 seconds off the lead now after that stop.
About 31 seconds in the pit there for Adam. And with the other two boys in first and second, Oily and Showman, pitting next lap, they have to, or this lap, we'll see what happens and whether the 13 on the medium was the right strategy for Adam.
And we've missed it, but Apex has actually been able to take that spot off a Scooter and has now broken the slipstream, and he's building a nice little gap in third. Would assume him take a provisional race lead when we see Oily and Showman ducking this lap.
Well, likewise there, Oily's out in front of Showman, leading by 6 tenths now, so a couple little changes.
Just keep an eye on Oily and Showman here. We'd expect to see them coming into the pits. Oily has done an amazing job on his tyres. He's stayed out another one.
He's staying out for 15. He's got fuel light flashing. This will have to be the last one.
Would absolutely have to be.
Now. Really trying to...
That's incredible pace to get 15 laps out of soft tyres and have the fuel for it running in the 34s.
Really trying to wring the neck out of those softs.
Yeah, maybe not confident enough to run 14 on the mediums or 13 on the mediums. Wants as shortest run as possible. We'll see Showman coming out of the pits right in front of Adam. Is Adam going to get him around the outside? He does. Yeah. And Adam's made up 2.1 second that.
He's done a great job in just holding those, saving fuel and working off those extra couple of seconds on the softs. So whether that'll come back to bite him at the end of the race, we'll see. But he's got 14 long laps ahead of him on those soft tyres now.
Yep, and we should see. We'll definitely see Oily in this lap. I believe we might see Apex follow him in and Scooter stay out an extra lap, so that might separate those two and give Scooter an advantage on running softs a lap less to the end of the race. So there's still plenty to play for. They've only pulled 4/10 on the captain, who's happily sitting in fourth with a bit of a gap to behind him as well. So there we go. Oiley's ducked into the pits. Will Apex follow him in? He has to. He's got about 3% remaining. Or 4. There you go. And Scooter takes our race lead.
Tyres looking like they're seeing better days though. Fuel looking like it's probably a couple of laps left there for Scooter. So next lap or the one after, we'll see what we get, and he might bring it home on 10 laps worth of soft, I think, because Scooter started on the mediums. Is that right?
Correct. So the race, and then we'll finally know where these two stoppers stand compared to the guys running on one stop.
Low side on absolute fire looking at his lap times. Just really consistent. Down, so
Really
in the low 30s.
just gradually getting slower, but
that's it.
That's running 34s on what I believe is lap 9 on his tyres is really good pace.
And closing that gap into to Scooter very slowly as well, just edging in. Shans and Figo separated by 3/10 coming out of the hairpin there. Shans will be probably looking to, I don't know if he'll get past.
I think we'll see Shans in this lap, yeah, so Figo might come in, but he could stay out another, or he could pit in this lap and have a shorter stop than Shans and not have to put as much fuel in as his gauge just starts blinking, which means he's at the 10-litre mark. Scooter is in, the captain is in, we see Figo and Shans both duck into the pits as well. Stefko following suit.
Having done a great job in saving fuel.
And
Stefko on 33%.
Tombo taking our race lead again after these stops. I believe still with one stop to go does Tombo have, but so that's incredible. Waiting to see where Adam comes out in relation to all of these other two stoppers as well. He's right on the rear bumper of Troy and well clear. First two stopper I believe is Apex. So about 6 seconds difference between Adam and Apex, who was our first of the two stoppers.
At the moment though, Adam's got to look after his tyres a lot more than the others, so Adam gets the move done on Troy letting him past.
Yep, Adam closed the gap on Troy fairly quickly there. Troy realising that and getting out of the way, maybe thinking he can run a faster race if he's trying to stick to the rear bumper of Adam rather than fighting hard for that second spot with 10 laps to go. So the question is, when will we see Tombo in now? I think we saw him come in on lap 10, so maybe we'll see him in on lap 20 for his medium stint.
Yeah, he's about... He's looking okay for fuel, but he won't need to come in for several laps to go. So, yeah, it could be around 20, 22-ish, somewhere around there.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see at that point as Troy is sideways out of the last corner, which is going to open the door for Oiley to close up on him. Now just half a second behind in that slipstream. On the medium tyres though. Troy is also on the medium tyres and running very low on fuel, so he's going to have to pit again. It's Troy.
I'm intrigued to know what Tate's strategy is here. With Tate down in 13th, he's going to get... he's going to take Zuzu here.
So I believe Tate has done a 5 and... I believe he's done a 5 and an 11.
Looks
or
like
a 5 and a 12.
Yeah, it looks like he might have pitted on lap 18. But, sorry, this is 18, sorry, I'm saying lap 16,
Yeah,
sorry.
16, yeah.
But he's down in 12th place, but again, looking at his lap times, and we can't see what happened before lap 9, but looking at his lap times, he actually looks like he's right on par for any of the faster guys. So,
yeah, he's been running similar pace to the captain, so it's definitely strange to see him back in 12th after winning our race 1. So very,
could have been
very
an
interesting.
early on that we missed. So Shannon's looks like he's got the move done on Figo though.
Yep, and there we go. We have to go in on 18.
Interesting. He had quite a lot of fuel, and his tyres look
Tree as well.
So. Adam V10 now in the lead, 2.2 seconds clear of Oily, who is about 2.4 clear of Apex Humper.
Yeah, so Oily and Showman both on the mediums, Apex on the softs, same as Adam, but running a few laps less on him, so you expect to see him being a little bit quicker towards the end of the race here, trying to close that gap to Adam.
Starting to see the mix of the two strategies coming together again. After, I believe all cars are now fueled to the end. Yeah, they are. All cars are now fueled to the end, which means we are, we're racing for effective lead here. Adam is our effective lead, and no one has to jump back to the pits unless we have any damage. So it's anyone's race.
Yeah, and just back on Tate, who we saw pitted on lap 16, he's actually just come straight out of the pits and set a fastest lap of the race for 32.1, so he's definitely got the pace there. Maybe just made a few mistakes or got a penalty. It's quite easy to do. We saw a fair few of them being dished out in Div 2, so...
Yeah, we did. I was top of the list on that one.
I saw Flossie got a fair few in race 1 as well, which gave me plenty of help. So unfortunately for Flossie, on I believe about lap 2 or 3, he copped a 1.5 second penalty and had to serve it coming onto the start-finish straight. Went back to about 7th spot.
Scooter, like he's gone up the inside of Showman, making those sticky cloth tyres work. Showman will tuck him behind him on the way up the hill.
Absolutely, and those hard-charging guys on softs doing the two-stop, Apex and Scooter, now just have two cars in front of them, in between them and the lead of the race, being Adam and Oily on the one-stop. So obviously the one-stop guys are going to be fuel-saving and tyre-saving as much as they can to try and have more pace towards the end, whereas Apex and Scooter can absolutely bring the neck of those cars and try and close that gap.
So when they start getting close, Oily and Adam will be making those cars pretty bloody well.
Oh yeah, you at this point of the race, I don't think you want to be giving anything up for free, especially if you're if you're Oily or Adam competing for that podium at the moment.
Adam really is going to be happy having Oily behind him. It's just that little bit of an extra gap, and if Oily puts up a bit of a fight for Apex, now 1.5 seconds behind him, then that's all the more distance ahead that Adam can skate. So
yeah, so Adam having about a 2-second gap back to Oily, and then only 1.2 seconds to Apex. So that Porsche charging up through the field very quickly, having better tyres, but about the same amount of fuel as the two cars ahead.
Figo and Shams looking like they're working together a little bit. Some bump draft heading up the straight, and I'd say Figo's just decided at this point, until that Supra's tyres go off, you're going to be better off sticking in, using the speed there of the Supra and using the slipstream.
Yeah, Figo's been flying the last couple of laps. He's done a 32.6, a 32.9 and a 32.7, so amazing pace out of Figo on them softs at this point of the race.
I'm blown away seeing Tate nearly in the 31s. Race condition, it's incredible.
Yeah, he did a 32.1 that purple lap, and then he's done a 32.2 and a 33.1, so I think he had to pass Tombo on that previous lap and is now just looking to charge on his Tate. Shans and Figo are both very close together, sorry.
No, you're right. Oh, they are too. Yeah, working together to get to close that gap onto Stefko.
Yeah, that Porsche looks quite strong around here, but the fuel saving really makes it tougher in the straight line. So Obviously with a lot of other cars as well in the same boat, but that Porsche really not having as much power as the Supra and the Nissan now chasing it down.
Apex humping now within 5 tenths or 6 tenths of Oily. Adam able to open that 2 second gap up now to 2.5. He's really capitalising on it while he knows that gap exists.
Yeah, so Apex and Adam almost running identical lap times last lap. Adam with a 33.446, Apex with a 33.463, so just 0.02 of a second between them last lap.
Adam showing up all of the Corvette drivers running on laps 19 and 20 and 18 and 17, running 32s whilst heavily fuel saving.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a talk to our team captain and get a few more secrets out of him. I think he's still hiding some stuff from us.
If I could borrow some of his magic, that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. As we see Apex right on the rear bumper of Oily now for that second place, and Scooter closing the gap to them as well.
Oily not going to make it easy for him.
No, and he has every right to fight for this spot now. They're not on separate strategies or anything. This is for position at the moment, and you absolutely fight for everything you can right now.
Apex with a good run. Likely expect to see Oily go defensive. But no, Apex is going to have the run though. Get up close enough.
Oily using a bit of power out of the corner from that Nissan to hold a bit of a gap to Apex, and if he can stay in front up on this uphill section, Apex might get a bit of dirty air to compromise his line. Starting to get to the point where them tyres are starting to wear a little bit. Oily obviously on the mediums, Apex on the softs. So them softs are going to wear a lot more being in dirty air than they normally would.
Yeah, 5 laps to go. Adam's doing a great job in continuing to open that gap out from Oily as Oily starts having to defend.
Apex is alongside. No, he's not. He's just a bumper behind. It looked like he was trying to get the inside there. He's pulled half the car out to the inside and tucked back in behind Oily, so making sure he's trying to get Oily looking in his mirrors, worrying about other things other than his braking point. Oily, an experienced driver, he's not going to fall for that kind of stuff at the moment.
Scooter's lurking now as well. Scooter now closed that gap up to 8 tenths.
Oh, the captain for 6th place. Sorry, he's going around the outside of Showman. He's pulled a last second switchback.
Yeah, there it is.
So great move from the captain there. He's been creeping his way, still holding a 5-second gap up to Scooter as well. So captain's had really amazing consistency after coming out of the pits as well. 32.9, 32.8, 32.9, 32.9, 32.9. So that is amazing consistency.
Yep. That's blistering pace.
Not only is it consistent, but it's great pace, and he drops into the 34s there as he had to make that move on the Showman.
And it looks like tyres too.
Absolutely. Back up in that battle for 2nd place. Apex not able to get the run onto Oily up the hill as well. So I think at this point Oily's trying to defend enough to get the soft tyres to start to fall off to where the mediums are better suited.
Yeah,
which is definitely a great strategy.
As we approach 3 laps to run, Oily now closing that gap, previously 2.5 seconds back off Adam, now at 2 seconds. So while he's fending off an attack from Apex behind, he is also closing in on Adam. And as we approach 3 laps to run, these cars are all going to come together with Scooter behind them as well for, I would say, a pretty epic last lap or 2-lap battle.
Yeah, it's the Apex going very wide on the exit of that corner, getting a bit of grass, going over the curb and clipping a bit of grass. But Oily here doing a great job, and the mediums really starting to come to the fall-off point of the softs, I think. And Scooter coming right up onto the rear bumper of Apex could give Apex something else to look at and not focus completely on attacking Oily, so it could get Apex looking in his mirrors. And does Scooter think, well, I can't follow Apex through, so I'm just going to go. Well, Oil's very wide there, trying to carry a lot of speed on the exit.
Yeah, there was a late notice bump draft there by Apex on the straight. I don't think Oily sort of expected to get drafted there, so but Apex has done the right.
Scooter coming with speed.
He is too. He's a beautiful exit.
Just tucked right underneath that rear wing of the Porsche. Oily very wide again, looking to try and hold that spot around the outside. Apex alongside Oily using all of the curb, and Apex is clear of him. Scooter now looking up the inside. The door has been opened, and both of these guys, Scooter's going to make the move up into second place now, taking advantage of that. And now with a 2.5 second gap to Adam with 2.5 laps to drive, can these guys do it on that two-stop strategy, or will Adam be able to hold it out?
Yeah, the fighting's definitely benefited Adam here, but just fantastic move there by Scooter. 2 positions there.
Yeah, and will Oily drop off here, or will he be able to come back at him on them medium tyres, having a bit more pace in them towards the end of this race?
Looking at how little they're worn, I think that this will continue to be a 3-way battle for second place.
Oh, as Oily gets a little bit of a slide on coming out of that hairpin on the start-finish straight. We see the captain lurking in the background now, just 3.7 seconds behind as well, so he's closing the gap, but I don't think he's going to be closing it fast enough to improve on his current position. As Oily drops a little bit back, and Scooter and Apex are side-by-side through turn 1. Apex taking the position away momentarily. Scooter looking to hold it around the outside. He does concede the position coming into the uphill S section, maybe wanting to slipstream into the next left sweep of that hander.
Oily closing back in as well.
Oh, Scooter's looking up the inside of Apex. He's right on his rear quarter panel. Here he goes. He's a 10th ahead. He's got his car clear now coming into this downhill chicane. Apex takes a bit of grass. Well, that could compromise his braking into the next corner. And now he's going to worry about Oily.
Apex knows that this is holding him back. All the battling's holding him back.
Yeah, and at this point, this is it. You're not going to catch Adam. He's 3 seconds up the road now. You are battling for this second place position with Scooter and Oily.
Yeah, just looking back through the remainder of the field, everyone else is pretty spread out. Adam now with a 3-second lead. It really is the battle for second, the one to watch. Scooter, Apex, and Oily.
Oh, Apex. Oh, Oily getting loose. He's clipped the wall.
He has. He's got damage. He's got damage to his...
The captain could be on here. As we have Apex right on the rear bumper of Scooter. Oh, Oily's gone again!
Sideways again.
Them dirty tyres, and the captain is gonna take that position, luckily. A little bit of luck shines on the captain, and he takes that 4th position to start the final lap of the race.
Very unlucky for Oily. After his race 1, he was in with a chance, and unfortunately that just all it takes. They're tired. Been racing for an hour now.
And on board with Apex at the top of the hill here, he's looked up the inside of Scooter. He's made Scooter go wide. He's hugging that Apex. He's got his car completely alongside. Scooter's got the better run out of the corner though, and takes the position back. Apex running out of chances to take that second position off of Scooter. Oh, as he gets sideways across the curbing as well. So Apex really pushing hard to try and get that position back off the Scooter. Both men running very low on fuel as well.
He's going to have one chance left to get it done.
Oh, Scooter doesn't get a great run out of there either, so Apex is right on the rear bumper of that Supra. The question is, has Scooter got enough in that tank to rev it out to try and defend that position on the exit of this last corner? Adam is running on the smell of an oily rag for the lead. Apex looking to go around the outside.
Late Apex.
He's gotten a great run out of the corner. 2 tenths, 1.6, 1.3, 1.1. Does he have enough speed to get past Scooter? Across the line.
Oh, that's close. 400.
400%. Wow.
What a run. What a fantastic run.
Yeah, the captain. Yep. Stefko taking home 5th. Shan's beating Figo for 7th.
Oily in 5th.
Oily taking home 5th, yeah, apologies.
Yeah, managed to hold on to it.
Showman dropping all the way back to 9th, unfortunately. Tate bringing it back up to 10th. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Tombo bringing home 11th. Troy in 12th. And unfortunately for Zoo coming home in 13th after a bit of a rough start. But great job to Adam, Scooter and Apex. Amazing driving. And great job to the captain and Oily as well, who drove great races. Oily just making that one or two mistakes on final lap, or on the penultimate lap.
Yeah, a bit of an unlucky run for some of the guys there, but all up, just incredible racing. 27 laps, and it all comes down to a drag race.
Wow. And the final gap between Scooter and Apex ended up being, I believe, 48 thousandths of a second, so just under half a tenth between them as they crossed that finish line.
How about that fastest lap by Tate though? 1 minute 32.1 during the race.
Yeah, that's incredible pace from Tate. Unfortunately, not able to put it together in the overall, but that's amazing times throughout the whole field. Adam with a 42.59. He's gotten under the 43-minute mark, which is incredible.
Yeah, definitely. No, he selected his his two-stint, one-stop strategy and stuck with it, and power to him. He pulled it off.
That was incredible. An incredible way to finish the race there. That three-way battle for second. Oily getting a little bit loose on the exit. Taking some grass, getting loose again. Low side stealing that fourth position that Oil worked so hard for. Low side getting it through his consistency. Adam holding out that first position incredibly well.
Yeah, that last two laps had a little bit of everything.
It was wow.
All right, well, that'll be it. Thanks for your company, Dragon and Broken Spoke.
It's been a pleasure.
I think that's a wrap for Div 1.
Been a good night by all, and it was pretty much a race for Adam by the sounds of it. He ran the one stop and got it done.
Absolutely. That man is a freak, and I need to get more of his secrets out of him.
He'll never tell. Alright, thanks very much everybody, and don't forget, find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, drop us a like and a subscribe, and...
Big thanks to our sponsors, Next Level Racing, Pagian Imports, and Races.World. Thank you, and Future Youth Clothing as well.
Thanks everybody, see you next week.